What happens when the man who is James Bond, stylish, charming, unstoppable on screen, faces enemies he never saw coming in real life? For Pierce Brosnan, the toughest battles weren't against supervillains with laser satellites. They were personal. Friends who turned into rivals, children he couldn't save, a co-star who poisoned a set, and the most ruthless enemy of all, a faceless executive who ended his reign with a single phone call. Now, let's go back to the mid-1980s. Pierce had the world at his feet. He'd been handpicked by Bond producer Cubby Broccoli. Even Ian Fleming's widow said he was the exact man her late husband envisioned as 007. It was destiny. But just as the champagne was about to be poured, NBC threw a wrench into his dreams. They yanked him back into Remington Steele when rumors of his Bond casting boosted ratings. And just like that, contractually trapped, Pierce was forced to decline the role. His tuxedo moment vanished. Who stepped into the spotlight instead? His friend, Timothy Dalton. Dalton had been on the short list for years, and when Brosnan was out, the part was his. Dalton did nothing wrong, but imagine watching a buddy, someone you shared laughs with, living your dream, while your wife Cassandra was fighting for her life against ovarian cancer. For Brosnan, Dalton became more than just Bond. He became the face of loss, a reminder of the door slammed shut. Fans now call those years between 1986 and 1994 the lost years. Brosnan never stopped working, thrillers, ads, indie flicks, but Bond became a ghost haunting him. Only when Dalton stepped down did Pierce finally get the call. GoldenEye, 1995. He was Bond at last, but the shadow of Dalton never really left. Now, what about family? That was supposed to be his anchor. Pierce had married actress Cassandra Harris in 1980, and when her first husband died, he adopted her kids, Charlotte and Christopher. He promised them the love and fatherhood he never got as a boy. For a while, it worked. They were a tight family. But then Cassandra passed away in 1991, and Christopher, only 19 at the time, spun into grief. Arrests, drunk driving, then harder things. Pierce paid for lawyers, rehab, everything. But addiction has its own grip. Christopher drifted further until by 2012, he was in headlines as the Bond actor's junkie son. To tabloids, it was scandal. To Pierce, it was heartbreak. First Cassandra, then Charlotte, who died of the same cancer as her mom, and now Christopher, alive but lost. In recent years, paparazzi spotted him alone in London, aged beyond his years, unrecognizable. Pierce rarely speaks of it, but close friends say it's the wound that never closed. Sometimes the people you love just don't want to be saved, and that was a truth that nearly broke him, but Hollywood wasn't finished with him. After Die, Another Day in 2002, Brosnan was on top. The film had smashed box office records, and he was gearing up. For his fifth outing, he was training, pitching new storylines, ready to go. Then came the coldest betrayal of all, a phone call, just 47 seconds. You were a great James Bond. Thank you very much. Goodbye. That was it. No dinner, no handshake, no thank you montage, just erased. The studio had already been testing younger actors behind his back. The new man in? Daniel Craig. Now, Brosnan didn't hate Craig as a person, but Craig symbolized everything that had been stolen. Bond was gone. His asking price dropped overnight from $12 million to $3 million. He had to fire a dozen staff. His children saw him cry for the first time. There should have been more grace, he said later, more class. Imagine giving 10 years to a franchise only to be tossed aside like an old prop. That scar ran deep. Even outside Bond, scars found him. On Mamma Mia, a movie meant to be fun, a chance to breathe after decades of heaviness, Pierce clashed with an A-list diva co-star. Demands, tantrums, rewriting scripts on the fly, even refusing to rehearse unless her trailer was moved. Pierce, ever the gentleman, tried to smooth things over, but behind the smile, he hated every minute. And if you want more untold Hollywood stories like this, hit like, tap subscribe, and stick around. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next.